Hi guys, welcome to this week's tutorial. And in this week's little session here, we're going to talk about some reclined back bends. So I'm actually going to demonstrate 3 poses for you. They are Sphinx pose, Cobra, and upward facing dog. So when we talk about back bends, a lot of people get nervous or they have a preconceived idea that a back bend just doesn't work in their body. And that could be because you have a back issue or maybe a hip or sciatic type of an issue. But what we need to learn is not to avoid them, but to find one that works well for us. Because the importance of these reclined back bends is that they strengthen all the muscles that run up and support the spine. So not only that, but the trunk, we open up across the heart and the chest, we get really wide across the collarbones, we stretch the abdomen, and at the same time we strengthen all those posterior muscles that, like I said, support our spine. So in order for us to help find a little more healing or a little more strength in the body, we need to see if we can work within our limitations and find a progression that works for us. So that's why I want to make sure I show you all 3. The middle one that I spoke of, Cobra, is the most commonly practiced one. Some people are ready to progress beyond that and they don't necessarily know that. But then there's some people that really find Cobra challenging and maybe don't realize that they can back it down and still get the same benefits through the body. One quick other thing I want to point out. I speak a lot in my classes about how being in a tabletop position on all fours uses the same muscles as you do if you're in a full plank. So we're getting really strong through the whole body and we're engaging all the same muscles. So we've got to lose the sort of competitiveness of how advanced in the pose we get. Keep that in mind as we're doing these 3 reclined back bends, because you want your body to feel connected and feel strong. You don't want to feel uncertain, because that's just going to make things more challenging for you, okay? Again, it's not a competitive sport, people. Okay, so we're going to come down onto the belly. I have to remind you guys of that all the time. So come down onto the belly. We'll start with Sphinx. So just slide the elbows forward underneath of the shoulders, so basically where your hands would be. Try to have the tops of the feet in the mat, onto the mat here. And this is how we build the strength or the foundation so that we can progress really quickly out of this Sphinx pose. This is a great yin pose too as well. So I want you to press your hands into the mat, spread them nice and wide. Okay, play with this little collapse of the chest and then push into the forearms and lift your chest up here nice and high. So rather than feeling any crunching in the low back, sort of find your sweet spot and switch your attention and intention to lengthening the back side of the body. So you may even be able to scooch your legs down a little bit. Think of lengthening that low back and then drawing your heart forward and the crown of the head forward as well. Your glutes should be engaged. You should feel anchored through the pelvis and the tops of your thighs, and even the tops of the feet, if you can have energy all the way down into the bottom of your legs. Just take 1 deep breath and then let yourself come down here nice and slow. Maybe just lift the feet, shake them out if you're going through these with me, just to release the low back. Okay, and then from here, let's bring our hands under the shoulders. This is Cobra. This is the most popular. Lots of people practice Cobra. Hands are going to come under the shoulders and spread your fingers really, really wide. Hasta Bandha, which is our hand lock or our hand bandha. All the energy is pressing into the mat. We're squeezing the triceps and the elbows into the rib cage, so you should be touching your ribs here. Okay, take an inhale, squeeze your bum, point your toes, lift your chest. Okay, keep your arms locked in. So getting out here with the elbows is not where we want to be. We want to squeeze and help hold the torso with the upper arms. Again, connect with the back line of your body. So point your toes, draw the crown of the head forward, see how you feel. Take a breath. Lower down. Great job, guys. Curl the toes under. Just take a little child's pose or something to lengthen out the low back. And then I'll show you the third progression here, which is upward facing dog. I don't cue this in a class because I teach to a wide variety of people, but once you know, and you can take upward facing dog in place of Cobra in every instance of the pose. So we're gonna come to plank here, and I'll show you just how we would typically incorporate or get into this. So we're gonna shift our weight forward, take an inhale, exhale, hug the elbows in just like we did in Cobra, and then inhale, stay lifted through the legs, so only the tops of my feet are in the floor. Hasta Bandha, press through the hands, try to get broad across the collarbones, lots of space from the ears to the shoulders. Lengthen that back line, take a breath. Good job. Knees down. And come back. So each progression is a little bit more strength building, but I want the emphasis to really be on supporting the spine and building some strength through the spine. So as we did those, you maybe couldn't go much farther or farther at all than the Sphinx pose. Start there. Make it a yin type of a posture where you hold there, lay on the floor and watch TV for a little bit. You know, practice squeezing the back line of your body, pressing your forearms into the floor, and just lifting your chest. Okay? If you need to take a break, let yourself come down, and then bring yourself back up. Okay, so that's a really good place to start. For those of you more advanced, I challenge you to start incorporating upward facing dog in place of Cobra. And if anybody has any questions about any three of those, please let me know. I'll be happy to elaborate if I need to. Take care.